Hello po! So today, me and my groupmates are going to discuss the Module 2, which is the evolution of computing. I am Joanna Dimple Axon, the maker of PowerPoint presentation and the presenter of this area. Learning outcomes. Discuss and define what is computer, functions and characteristics. Explain how computer came into existence and enumerate and define the classifications of computer. So, what is computer? A programmable electronic device that accepts raw data as input and processes it with a set of instructions, or a program to produce result as an output. The term computer is derived from the Latin word computere, which means to calculate. Charles Babbage is a mathematician, philosopher, inventor, and mechanical engineer who invented the digital programmable computer, or it is also known as the father of computer. The use of computer: you can create presentations, type documents, prepare letters, sending emails, edit or create videos and spreadsheets, internet banking services, and browse the web. We all know that computer can perform kung ano ang pwede nating gawin, like calculations or anything na ginagawa natin sa device, mapa-software man yan or hardware. And here are the benefits of using computer. Number 1, increases your productivity. Sa panahon ngayon, ang paggamit ng computer ay natutulungan tayo upang maging mas produktibo. Halimbawa na lamang sa Microsoft Word. Pwede tayong mag-input ng kahit ilang text ng mas mabilis at pwede rin natin ma-edit kung ano gusto natin. Number 2, connect to the internet. Sa panahon ngayon, lahat tayo ay gumagamit ng internet na kung saan karamihan sa atin ay di kayang mabuhay kung wala ito. Bukod, ito din ang dahilan kung saan dito natin ginagamit ang mga iba't ibang klase ng social media like Messenger, Facebook, Twitter at kung ano pa man. Number 3, storage. Alam natin ang storage ng computer ay malaki kumpara sa cellphone na umaabot lamang ito ng 120GB to 256GB. Number 4, organized data and information. Ito ay ginagamit natin sa pagsunod-sunod ng mga data na kung kaya't pwede natin gamitin sa pag-aayos ng mga ating materials. 5. Improves your abilities. Dito, nakakaya niyang i-check ating mga spelling at grammars. Number 6. Assist the physical challenge. Even if you are deaf, pwede mong gamitin ang computer para magsalita para sa'yo. Number 7, keeps you entertained. Madaming website na pwede natin gamitin para hindi na tayo maboard, like listening to music, watch, and to keep us entertained. Ang computer ay nagiging essential na sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay that are totally reliant on a computer. An example of these are: number 1, ATM. Sa pag-withdraw ng cash sa ATM, tayo gumagamit ng computer na kung saan sinusunod niya ang mga instruction na binibigay natin at kusang lalabas ang pera. Number 2, digital currency. It keeps a record of your transaction, kung saan makikita mo kung ilan pa ang iyong maintaining balance and kung ilang pera ang na-deposit mo. At nakikita mo ito as digital record. Number 3, trading. Kung saan tayo ay gumagamit ng computer para sa pag-trade natin. Number 4, smartphone. Ginagamit natin ito sa pang-araw-araw for texting and calling at kung ano pa man. Number 5, VoIP, or tinatawag na all voice IP communication on or VoIP as handled and done by computers.
So good day everyone, my name is Angelica Agustin. Today, I will present to you the 4 functions of computer. So the first function is the input functions. The input computer functions accept data from input devices and send it to the computer processor. It accepts data from the user or outside the environment. It converts user understandable form of data into binary code that is understandable to the computer. It sends data and instruction in a binary form to the computer for further processing. So the second function is the data processing functions. It is the most basic function of a computer. It performs central processing unit, CPU, which consists of electronic circuit that can read and execute code instruction to perform wide range of tasks. Data processing is a conversion of raw data into meaningful information through certain process. Data processing manipulation of data by a computer. It includes the conversion of raw data to machine-readable form, flow of data through the CPU and memory to output devices, and formatting or transformation of output. So the third function is the output functions. The output function is the process of producing the useful information for the user after processing input data. An output function is a function that an optimization function call at each iteration of its algorithm. Typically, you use an output function to generate graphical output, record the history of the data. So the last function is the data storage functions. One of the most useful function of a computer is data storage. Data storage is the retention of information using technology specifically developed to keep that data and have it accessible as necessary. And there are two types of storage, the temporary storage and the permanent storage. The temporary storage is data stored in a temporary storage component is erased when the system is shut down, and the permanent storage is the data stored in a permanent storage component is not erased when the system is shut down.
Good day everyone, my name is Jalaika M. Magtang from BSBA 2A, and today we're gonna discuss about the characteristic of a computer. So first, characteristic of a computer is speed. As you know, computer can work very fast. It won't take a minute to perform the instruction, or just one click, it will show or it will follow the instruction of a human command. Halimbawa, kapag clinic mo na yung enter, is talagang mag-enter na siya, or clinic mo yung, halimbawa sa laptop, kapag clinic mo yung control S ay mag-save na agad yung documents na ginawa mo. The second characteristic of a computer is accuracy. The computer's accuracy is very high. It only shows the error because of the misinformation or inaccurate data that human given to the computer. Halimbawa, yung sa accuracy nung computer is ganito. Halimbawa, nag-search ka ng lyrics ng isang kanta, dahil hindi mo yung alam yung title, ay magpapakita na agad ito at ipapakita na rin ito yung title ng isang kanta. The third characteristic of a computer is diligence. It is free from tiredness, lack of concentration, fatigue, and etc. It can still perform millions of calculations with the same accuracy and without creating any errors. Halimbawa, yung sa diligence na characteristic ng isang computer ay hindi ito napapagod, hindi din siya nawawalan sa concentration, at hindi din siya nagkakasakit dahil isa lang itong machine. Kahit na ilang oras yung trabaho na ginagawa ng isang computer ay same accurate pa rin yung binibigay niyang information at hindi siya nagkakaroon ng errors. The fourth characteristic of a computer is versatility. The computer can perform different type of work. It is flexible to do different type of work. So, itong computer it can multitask different type of work. Kasi, halimbawa, sa umaga, you can do it with school work. Kapag gabi naman, pwede naman yung pagkakakitaan ng mga work. Halimbawa, visual assistant, online selling, and many more. The fifth characteristic of a computer is the power of remembering. So the computer has the ability to remember everything, no matter how many years have been passed. It can recall the data as long as you require it. Pero ibig sabihin sa as long as you require it is yung mga data na hindi mo pa na-delete years ago or months ago. Yun lang yung kayang matandaan nung computer. The sixth characteristic of a computer is no IQ. Computer is dumb and can make a decision for itself and only follow instruction from the owner. So itong computer ay walang isip, walang isip para magdesisyon para sa kanyang sarili. Hindi naman kailangan na sabihin ng computer na hindi na to kailangan ng master ko, so kailangan ko na siyang i-delete. Hindi ganon. Saka lang ma-delete yung na-store na information kapag dinelete ng isang owner. Ang kailangan lang gawin ng computer ay magtanggap ng command at gagawin yung command. The seventh characteristic of a computer is no feelings. It doesn't have a feeling, doesn't get tired no matter how long hours of work, and doesn't get hungry. Itong computer ay hindi natin katulad, hindi siya isang tao, kundi isa lang siyang machine na walang pakiramdam. At kaya pa ding magbibigay ng information kahit na with the same accuracy kahit na ilang oras na siyang gumagana or ginagamit. The last or the eighth characteristic of computer is storage. The computer can store a large amount of data. You can also store data in secondary devices and can be carried to other computers. So, ang computer is may malaking gig or storage para maglaman ng mga data or information. At kung na-full naman yung storage is pwede kang magkaroon ng secondary devices, halimbawa ng USB, USSD na kaya mong bitbitin at pwedeng isaksak sa ibang computer para makuha mo yung mga other information. And that's all the characteristic of a computer. Thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Monica Grace Ako from BSBA2A, and I will going to discuss the history of computers. The first counting tools was used for the primitive people. They used sticks, stones, and bones as counting tools. As human mind and technology improved, more computing devices were developed. First is the abacus. Abacus was invented around 4,000 years ago by the Chinese. It was a wooden rock which has metal rods with beads mounted on them. The beads were moved by the abacus operator according to some rules to perform arithmetic calculations. Abacus is still used in some countries like China, Russia, and Japan. So gaya na ng sabi ko kanina, ang abacus ay invento around 4,000 years ago by the Chinese. Isa itong wooden rock na mayroong metal rods with beads mounted on them. And still, ginagamit pa rin ito ng bansang China, Russia, and Japan hanggang ngayon. And moreover, the history of computer begins with the birth of abacus, which is believed to be the first computer. The next one is the Napier's bones. Napier's bones was invented by John Napier of Merkiston. It was a manually operated calculating device. Also, the first machine to use the decimal point. Besides from that, Napier used 9 different ivory strips or bones marked with numbers to multiply and divide, na kung saan dito na siya tinawag na Napier's bones. Next is the Pascal line. Pascal line is also known as arithmetic machine or adding machine. It was invented between 1642 and 1644 by a French mathematician philosopher Blaise Pascal to help his father, a tax accountant. It is also believed that it was the first mechanical and automatic calculator. So, sinasabi nga dyan na si Pascal ay nag-invento upang matulungan ang kanyang tatay, na kung saan isa itong tax accountant. Also, Pascal line has a wooden box with a series of gears and wheels, and it only performs addition and subtraction. Step reckoner or Leibniz wheel. Step reckoner was made of fluted drums. It was developed by a German mathematician philosopher Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz in the year 16 computers.
Difference engine. A difference engine is an automatic mechanical calculator designed to tabulate polynomial functions. It was designed in the 1820s and was first created by Charles Babbage. The name, the difference engine, is derived from the method of divided differences, a way to interpolate or tabulate functions by using a small set of polynomial coefficients. Some of the most common mathematical functions used in engineering, science, and navigation were, and still are, computable with the use of the difference engine's capability of computing logarithmic and trigonometric functions, which can be approximated by polynomials. So, a difference engine can compute many useful tables of numbers. Analytical engine. The analytical engine was a proposed mechanical general-purpose computer designed by English mathematician and computer pioneer Charles Babbage. It was first described in 1837 as the successor to Babbage difference engine, which was a design for a simpler mechanical calculator. Tabulating machine. The tabulating machine was made for the betterment of counting procedure during the U.S. Census of 1890. For corporate applications like accounting and inventory control, later models were frequently employed. It gave rise to a new machine category called unit record equipment and the data processing business. Mark I. The IBM Automatic Sequence Controlled Calculator, called Mark I by Harvard University's staff, was a general-purpose electromechanical computer that was used in the war effort during the last part of World War II. One of the first programs to run on the Mark I was initiated on March 29, 1944 by John von Neumann. A programmable electromechanical calculator designed by Professor Howard Aiken, built by IBM, and installed at Harvard in 1944. The Mark I's 765,000 parts were used to string 78 adding machines together. It used paper tape for input and typewriters for output. According to Rear Admiral Grace Hopper, the Mark I sounded like 1,000 knitting needles.
Good day everyone, I'm Jessa Miti Abrinilia and I will discuss the generation of computers. A shift in the technology that a computer was using is referred to as a generation in computer language. The term generation was the first used to distinguish between different hardware technologies. Nowadays, generation refers to both the hardware and software that make up a computer system. There are 5 computer generations known till date. Each generation has been discussed in detail along with their time period and characteristics. In the following table, approximate dates against each generation has been mentioned, which are normally accepted. Following are the main 5 generations of computers. First generation, the period 1940 to 1956, roughly considered as the first generation of computer. The first generation computers were developed by using vacuum tube or thermonic valve machine. The input of this system was based on punch cards and paper tape. However, the output was displayed on the printouts. The first generation computers work on binary coded concept. Examples: ENIAC, EDVAC, and etc. Second generation. The period 1956 to 1963 is roughly considered as the period of second generation of computers. The second generation computers were developed by using transistor technology. In comparison to the first generation, the size of second generation was smaller. The comparison to compute of the first generation, the computing time taken by the computers of the second generation was lesser.
Good day everyone, I am Loida Espalesteros and I will discuss the third, fourth, and fifth generation of computers. Third generation of computers. The period 1963 to 1971 is roughly considered as the period of third generation of computers. In this generation, computers were developed by using the integrated circuit or the IC technology. In comparison to the computers of the second generation, the size of computers of third generation was smaller. The computing time taken taken by computers of this generation was lesser, less power, and also less generated heat. The maintenance cost of the computers of this generation also low. The computer system of the computers of third generation was easier for commercial use. And for the fourth generation, the period 1972 to 2010 is roughly considered as the fourth generation of computers. In this generation, computers were developed by using microprocessor technology. By coming to fourth generation, computer became very small in size and became portable. The machine of the fourth generation started generating very low amount of heat. It is much faster and accuracy became more reliable. The production cost reduced to very low in comparison to the previous generations. It became available for the common people as well. Lastly is the fifth generation. The period 2010 until present is roughly considered as the period of fifth generation of computers. By the time the computer generation was being categorized by the basis of hardware only, but the fifth generation also included software. The computers of fifth generation had high capability and large memory capacity. Working with computers of this generation was fast and multiple tasks could be performed simultaneously. Some of the popular advanced technologies of fifth generation include artificial intelligence, quantum computation, nanotechnology, parallel processing, desktop, laptop, notebook, ultrabook, and Chromebook.
Good day everyone. I am Trishali Adrales, your next reporter for the classification of computers. The computer systems can be classified on the following basis. First, on the basis of purpose. Second, on the basis of data handling. And third, on the basis of size. Let's talk first about the classification on the basis of purpose. General purpose computers are designed to perform a range of tasks. They have the ability to store numerous programs. Like the PC, desktop, and laptops, you can perform a variety of tasks such as browsing on the internet, spreadsheets, playing video games and online games, editing, etc. This type of computer doesn't limited to performing a one or single task. From the word itself, general purpose, which means it can do and perform more than one task, but due to this, it lacks speed and efficiency. Specific purpose computers are designed to handle a specific problem or to perform a specific task. A set of instructions is built into the machine. It may also called as a special purpose computer or the dedicated computers. This type of computer performs only one specific task or purpose. An example for this is cameras. It only has one task, and that is to take photos. The second classification is on the basis of data handling. First, analog computer, a form of computer that uses continuous physical phenomena such as electrical, mechanical, or hydraulic quantities to model the problem being solved. It uses symbolic numbers to represent results and is excellent for the computation of measurable data such as pressure, temperature, voltage, and weight. Second, digital computer performs calculations and logical operations with quantities represented as digits, usually in the binary number system. It is capable of solving problems by processing information in discrete form and operates data, including symbols, which are expressed in 2 digits only, 0 and 1, or the binary code. An example for these are MacBook, calculators, ATM, and digital clock. Third, Hybrid computer, analog plus digital, a combination of computers. Those are capable of inputting and outputting in both digital and analog signals. It is used for an applications where both analog and digital data process is done. A hybrid computer system setup offers a cost-effective method of performing complex simulations. An example for this is petrol pump, as it both measure the amount of petrol as well as calculating its value. The digital component provides logical and numerical operation, while the analog component serves as a solver of differential components and equations. The third qualification is on the basis of size. Supercomputer, the fastest and most powerful type of computer. It is very expensive and are employed for specialized applications that require immense amounts of mathematical calculations. It is also used for scientific and engineering work that requires exceedingly high-speed computations. An example for this is testing mathematical models for complex physical designs, weather forecasting, nuclear weapons, pharmaceutical purpose, and petroleum exploration. Mainframe computer, a very large and expensive computer capable of supporting hundreds or even thousands of users simultaneously. In some ways, mainframes are more powerful than supercomputers because they support more simultaneous programs. It is primarily used by large organizations for mission-critical applications requiring high volumes of data processing. Nearly all mainframes have the ability to run multiple operating systems. It can add or hot swap system capacity without disruption, and designed to handle very high volume input and output, and emphasized throughout computing. A single mainframe can replace dozens or even hundreds of smaller servers. Supercomputer versus mainframe. The chief difference between a supercomputer and a mainframe is that a supercomputer channels all its power into executing a few programs as fast as possible, whereas a mainframe uses its power to execute many programs concurrently. The main difference between mainframes and supercomputers is their typical application domain. Mainframes excel in reliable volume computing and domains requiring integer operations such as financial, indexing, comparisons, etc. Supercomputers are designed to excel in their ability to perform floating point operations such as addition, subtraction, and multiplication with enough digits of precision to model continuous phenomena. Mini computer, mid-size computer. It lies between workstations and mainframes. It was smaller, less expensive, and less powerful than a mainframe or supercomputer, but more expensive and more powerful than a personal computer. Mini computers were used for scientific and engineering computations, business transaction processing, file handling, and database management. It is a multi-processing system capable of supporting from 4 to about 200 users simultaneously. They were primarily designed for business applications and services that require the performance and efficiency of mainframe computers. Mini computers are generally used as mid-range servers, where they can operate mid-size software applications and support numerous users simultaneously. Microcomputer or personal computer. A microcomputer is a complete computer on a small scale. designed for use by one person at a time. Personal microcomputers are often used for education and entertainment. Beyond laptops and desktops, microcomputers can include video game consoles, computerized electronics, and smartphones. In the workplace, microcomputers have been used for applications including data and word processing, electronic spreadsheets, professional presentation and graphics programs, communications and database management. Here are the examples of microcomputer or personal computer. Desktop computer is a personal or micro mini computer sufficient to fit on a desk. Laptop computer is a portable computer complete with an integrated screen and keyboard. Palm top computer or digital diary or notebook or PDAs, a hand-sized computer. Workstations, a terminal or desktop computer in a network, a generic term for a user's machine in contrast to a server or mainframe. It is a high-performance computer system that is basically designed for a single user and has advanced graphics capabilities, large storage capacity, and a powerful central processing unit. Workstations are used primarily to perform computationally intensive scientific and engineering tasks. They also have found favor in some complex financial and business applications. In addition, high-end workstations often serve a network of attached client PCs which use resident tools and applications to access and manipulate data stored on the workstation.
That's the end of our report. Hope you enjoy and learn something new. Once again, we are the Group 1. And here are the reporters of Module 2, The Evolution of Computing. Thank you and good day everyone.